Generation 5 is widely regarded as the best generation of Pokémon. Animated sprites, reusable TMs, the largest generation of added Pokémon, and a whole new battle mechanic in the form of triple battles. While I don't believe that Black and White are the best Pokémon games, I did choose this game for a very sentimental reason that you will all see later in the video. So let's see if we can beat a Pokémon Black hardcore Boxart Nuzlocke without items besides held ones, without overleveling, and without losing Reshiram. We choose our starters, and after Bianca suggests a battle inside of our room, which absolutely destroys it, and all we get out of it was a sorry, not cool, we name Reshiram Yang, as his counterpart Zekrom would be Yin, but with a minus special attack nature, I'm confident this won't work, so let's go ahead and reset. Our new Reshiram Light Fury has a plus attack minus defense nature. Certainly not the best, but it's a lot better than Yang's. Inside a Cumulus town square after Getsus gives his speech of freeing the Pokemon, we have our first encounter with Lord N, which prompts a new minigame, Dragon Rage Simulator, patent pending, where we have access to the most broken early game move since it deals 40 HP every time, and no evolution has that at this level. Now this right here pisses me off so much it's not even funny. So mom calls right, hangs up, then appears from 20 feet away. Honestly, I think it annoys me so much because it's something my mom would do, but at least we get our running shoes. And after a few more Dragon Rages against Bianca and Sharon, we're ready to fight our first gym. The idea of having a gym with different types to counter your starter is so cool, and further supports my claim of Generation 5 being the best. Too bad for them, I can't be countered, as Dragon Rage sweeps Cress's Lillipup and Panpour. First gym down. Inside the Dream Yard, just east of Striaton, we catch yet another glimpse of the villains, Team Plasma. And did they kick that sweet little Muna? Oh, you're gonna pay for that one. Just for that, we're gonna use Fire Fang and take a scorching chomp out of you. Out of you. There we go. Third time's a charm. 95% accurate, by the way. And after Musharna saves the day, we get our Sea Gear from Professor Fennel, which seems like a really cool way to share data between your friends. Let's just not even turn it on. Up on Route 3, we encounter a set of twins that claim it's too dangerous up ahead, but believe me,
I am the danger.
Just beyond that, we have another Sharon fight, which is a reason why this game doesn't qualify for Best Pokemon Game. Because what do you mean we have to fight you and Bianca a total of 14 times in a playthrough? Inside Nakreen City, we meet a nice lady who will give us the charcoal held item, which will boost our fire type moves by 20%. Then, as we head into the gym/museum, we're stopped by N, who demands a battle. And I guess he really believes in setting Pokemon free because he no longer has his Purloin. And I'd like to congratulate his Timber, who is the first Pokemon to live a Dragon Rage. Way to go, buddy. Inside the museum, we're greeted by Haas. He shows us his cool fossils and such, plus this stone that I feel a strange connection to. Down inside the basement, we meet the gym leader, Lenora. And the plan was to use our newly acquired charcoal to boost our Fire Fangs, but I forgot about Intimidate. So it looks like we're going to play more Dragon Rage Simulator. And wow, that did a lot. The minus defense nature sure isn't helping. We take down her Herdeer after she heals, and in comes Watchog. Facing a double damage Retaliate, there isn't much left to do but watch as the last Light Fury in Burke falls. But when a door closes, a window opens, and our Reshiram now has the second best nature for this playthrough, plus speed minus attack. Now the sentimental part. Wyatt was our cat that passed away a couple years ago due to liver failure. He lived to be around like 16-ish. And in this photo is his brother Batman, and they'd always curl up like that together and look like yin and yang, so what better name for Reshiram? This runs for you, buddy. And don't worry about Batman, he's got plenty more baby cats to snuggle with. So back to Lenora. Wyatt fires off a Dragon Rage to bring Herdeer to healing range, and a takedown only does about a third to us. After an Ancient Power and another Dragon Rage, Herdeer falls. In comes Watchog, and instead of hitting a double damage Retaliate, she opts for Hypnosis to put us to sleep. 2 turns later, we finally wake up and finish her off with a Dragon Rage. As we leave the gym, Team Plasma barges in and steals a Dragonite head. No wonder the grunts are so useless. What you wanted was right here. And after clearing out the grunts in Pinwheel Forest, we get Lenora back her precious dragon head. Oh, thank you so much. All in a day's work, ma'am. Crossing over the Sky Arrow Bridge gives us a glimpse of the beauty of Unova. Hey, I'm walking here. Anyways, I can't imagine how we used to do this on DS, because we're at 4 times FPS right now, and this still feels like a big-ass bridge. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit all those buttons. It'd be very much appreciated. Inside Castelia City, there's so much to do. We've got the original Lucio in an alley, 2 dudes giggling, and 3 Lucios.
Oh, let's break it down!
At the gym, we face off against Berg, the bug-type specialist. And really, we all know where this is going, so we put the bugs under a microscope and burn our way into our 3rd badge. And after that sweep, I head over to the top floor of the battle company to fight a janitor for the experience share, the most valuable item in all of these Nuzlockes, and which I also should have gotten before I went to the gym, but what can I say? I forgot. Up north in Nimbasa, we go with Bianca to the musical hall, where Wyatt becomes a mafia boss, but man, he does pull it off. Up on the Ferris wheel with the king of Team Plasma, he tells us about his plan and really just stuff, but I don't know, I wasn't listening. Hey, is that my house? Oh there, mister, that's close enough for you. This part always gets me because I always forget about the change in animation, so I'm like freaked out every time I see it. Do you remember the most important item we have? Yeah, we're glad we got it because Wyatt ended up only 10 XP away from overleveling. Not naturally, of course, but because I went over to the football stadium and didn't realize they wanted to battle us. Yeah, oops. Thankfully, we can outspeed Elisa's 2 Emolgas and can one-shot with a super effective ancient power to each of them. Her Zebstrika outspeeds and hits us with a spark for minimal damage before we roast Marty with a flamethrower. Over in Driftvale City, we find Zinzolin getting... Oh, get your mind out of the gutter, it's just for warmth. Anyways, after cleaning up that mess, gym leader Clay strolls in to get these 18 cowboys out of the cold storage and into custody. Or maybe not, for some reason. Gotta build the plot somehow, right? After navigating the elevators down to the lowest level of the gym, we face off against Clay, which is handled easily since Krukorok and Excadrill are both one-shot by a charcoal-boosted flamethrower, and Palpitoad actually being the biggest threat will always come in last to lower our speed with Bulldoze, and then get 2-shot by Dragon's Breath. Clay so kindly decimates that spiderweb blocking the entrance, and at this random bridge we're escorted across by the Shadow Triad, the most useless trio ever. And I used to play 3 Musketeers in Clash Royale. Like, we were gonna cross the bridge anyways. Why? Outside the cave, we run into our professor's father, who upgrades our Pokedex so we can see different forms of Pokemon, and introduces us to the gym leader Skyla. When you see the Wicker Devil in Gym Leader Afterlife, tell him Chili says hello. Meeting Skyla atop the Celestial Tower to ring the bell brought some challenges, mainly mental ones. Because every other step I would encounter a Pokemon. So here's a compilation of me going insane. Oh! Please! Just let me leave! Obviously, the first thing we did when we went back to town was go shopping for some much-needed groceries. After shooting ourselves out of one final cannon, we are ready to face the flying-type gym leader, Skyla. Her lead Swoobat is dropped to quite literally 1 HP from our ancient power, and we get the 10% Omni boost for the first time, raising all of our stats by 1 stage. Her amnesia to raise her special defense by 2 stages doesn't matter, as after Skyla uses a hyper potion, we can 2-shot with ancient power. Unpheasant is next and gets cooked into KFC by our flamethrower. Yeah, I'll get a bucket of extra crispy, please. Second window, gotcha. Swanna lives a dragon breath, but just sets up an aqua ring, so one more and Skyla is defeated. Make sure the wicker devil gets my message. What kind of trainer am I? What kind of trainer am I? I'm the one who's gonna kick your... After defeating Sharon in front of Twist Mountain, we get our first look at champion Alder. And man, that's gotta be hard on those knees. And with his superhero landing, we're granted HMO3 Surf. We make it into Icarus City, and now we're going to learn how to join a cult. After using our newly acquired power from Scientology, we can skate into Bryson, the Ice-type gym leader. And what does fire do to ice? It melts it. See ya, Bryson. Thanks for the ice cream. Whee! Atop the Dragon Spiral Tower, we're met by N yet again, but this time he's packing heat. He tells us that he'll defeat the Pokemon League and we'll be awaiting our challenge there. Yeah, I'm sure it would be easy if you've got a legendary to fly around with. Well, we don't count. Deep in the grainy heart of Relic Castle, we find TM30 Shadow Ball. This will come in handy very soon. And after clearing Team Plasma, we can fly back to Nakreen City where everyone is eagerly awaiting our arrival to deem us worthy of the Lightstone. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, Lenora. I really do like this rock. On Tube Line Bridge, we meet a nameless runner who gives us Flame Charge, a 50 base power physical fire type move that will boost our speed by 1 stage, also known as the only stat boosting move Wyatt can learn. Well, he learns Hone Claws and Double Team, but those are both locked behind the postgame, so they don't count. Inside Opelucious City, we run into Getsis giving yet another radical speech about everyone giving up their Pokemon. And Alder just stands there watching it happen. Are you and Clay double agents or something? Huh? After taking an embarrassingly long time to figure out the stupid dragon puzzle, we face off against Drayden, and it can only be summed up as a massacre of dragons killing dragons. Now, with all 8 gym badges, it is time to head to the Pokemon League, opening various gates to symbolize their badges' meaning with my personal favorite, the Jet Badge. Come on, look at how cool we look. We're literally flying. But before we enter, we need to go get some items before we challenge the Pokemon League. So we'll get Protect from Professor Juniper, the Spell Tag from the Celestial Tower to boost our Shadow Ball by 20%, the Shell Bell from the Old Man in Driftvale City, and TM52 Focus Miss in the basement of Wellspring Cave. Done with all the preparation we could do, it's time to face the Elite Four. Working our way through clockwise, we are whisked up the stairs by some spirits and dropped in front of Chantel, the Ghost-type specialist. Our only goal here is to use the Spell Tag held item and just spam Shadow Ball and hope for the best. We bring Crofagrigus down to a 3rd with a special defense drop as he returns a favor for a 1/4. Our next one KOs after she uses a full restore thanks to the defense drop. And next comes out Golurk, which has not 1, but 2 ways to end our run. Curse and Earthquake. So we really need to one-shot this thing. And we come up just short, which Golurk takes advantage of and chooses to kill us softly with Curse. But that does give us a chance. If we can crit Jellicent, we still could pull this one off. Unfortunately, we do not, so as a Surf and continuous Curse damage is applied, we have to say our goodbyes. Thank you, Wyatt. You truly were a great cat. I hope I was able to give you the best life you could have wanted. I'm sorry I wasn't there in your final moments. I love you, buddy. And now's a great time to say that almost all of my viewers are men, and in case you haven't been told in a while, from one to another, I love you, and I know there's at least one other person that loves you too. This also goes to everyone else, but I just thought I'd make it a little special. Now, I personally wasn't going to let my last memory of Wyatt go down as him slowly dying of Curse. So using PK Hex, we will bring him back to his prime, giving him perfect IVs and EVs and a modest nature to really show how far he can truly go. It kind of sucks because like all of the required fights are attack EVs, so we don't really get to train him too much, and we just got to deal with it. And now it's time for some revenge. P.S. This doesn't count as an attempt for our challenge, in case you were wondering. We're just seeing how far we can really go. Her lead, Kofagrigus, falls to a Shadow Ball thanks to our juiced up attack, and in comes this dirty Golem, who we gladly destroy with a Shadow Ball to remove all of the dreadful memories. Jellicent actually lives 1, 2, 3? Thanks to her full restores. Her ace, Chandelure, stands no chance given how frail she is, so that's the first member. Grimsley, the Dark-type specialist, is next on our list. Scrafty, having surprising bulk, made me want to bring Focus Blast, but after calcing Fusion Flare with Charcoal Boost, we're in like a 50-50 scenario to KO, so we'll just run with that so we don't have to risk missing. We click Fusion Flare and get the high roll to KO. We're stoked about that one because he could have gotten lucky with dropping our accuracy with Sand Attack or poisoning us from Poison Jab. Now, with the only Pokemon who had a chance to live gone, we can sweep the rest with more Fusion Flares. Halfway there. After ascending up to Caitlin's bed, we can give her the Chantal special. Spell tag boosted Shadow Balls. Reuniclus falls, Sigilyph faints, and Musharna actually tanks one thanks to her astounding special bulk, but can only send off a Psychic in return, and that was clearly just a cry for help. And after a couple full restores, she goes down as well, which leaves Gothitelle to succumb to yet another Shadow Ball. Up against our last Elite Four member Marshall, the Fighting-type specialist, we thankfully have the perfect answer to him, in the form of Extrasensory. Not even one could survive thanks to their relatively low special defense, so now it's time for the champion. But what's this? N has dethroned Alder and made a giant castle come out of the ground? Yeah, I'd like to see the engineers and architects arguing over this build. And as we enter, we're stopped by 6 of the sages, but thankfully all the gym leaders pull up and will handle them for us. Inside the throne room sits Lord N, who has deemed us incapable of being the hero since Reshiram has yet to appear. But when faced by Zekrom, our Lightstone activates. Flash warning to everyone, you get like 3 seconds to avert your eyes. With 4 times speed, this even messed with my eyes somewhat, but man, that's a good looking dragon. Given that it's a required catch, we just throw a Master Ball, and now we battle N in the glory of truth versus ideals. He leads his Zekrom, who we decimate with a Dragon Pulse. Caracosta comes in, and has high crit rate Stone Edge, and if it did get the 1 in 8 chance to crit, it will kill. Plus, with its ability Sturdy, he's guaranteed to live any single hit from full HP. So, let's see what happens. We click Dragon Pulse, and KO? See, with Reshiram's ability Turbo Blaze, any other Pokemon's ability that would be disadvantageous to us is completely ignored. So, Sturdy doesn't work. And with Caracosta down, it is a clean sweep and onto our final fight against the true Team Plasma leader, Getsis. He leads his bulky Kofagrigus, and sadly, since we weren't able to change held items, we are stuck with the Dragon Fang. Shadow Ball and Dragon Pulse have about the same chance to KO, roughly 30% considering perfect special defense IVs. So we click Shadow Ball, and the damn coffin lives on 1 HP. In return, poisons us with Toxic. The worst possible scenario for us. Getsis uses a full restore, and we switch to Dragon Pulse, which yet again brings him to 1, as we are continuously chipped away with poison damage. We finally are able to KO this defensive monster, leaving us with only 72 HP to work with. All we can do now is watch as our Dragon Pulse doesn't do enough, and Wyatt faints to a buffalo shaking the earth. What a life you lived here, Wyatt. Thank you all for watching, and go pet a kitty for Wyatt.